Harvin, but the Gators almost didn't have him for this game. It was a scary scene as Harvin lay motionless on the field after Hart's collision. He briefly lost feeling in his arms and his legs and was carted off the field. Fortunately, Harvin suffered just a bruise to the spinal cord. He is expected to play. But keep an eye on running back Deshaun Wynn and linebacker Earl Everett. Both barely practiced this week, but they will try and play. As for linebacker Brandon Seiler, he told me yesterday his knee is fine and he's good to go. Guys?
Thank you, Tracy. Gators won the toss. They have deferred the option to the second half, which means that Arkansas will get the ball. This game is being brought to you in high-definition television. Joey Eos, number 98, will kick off. He does not kick it very deep. 7 touchbacks on 50 kickoffs, and these guys return it deep.
Was practicing a lot of squib kicks in warm-ups, just kicking line drives, afraid of those two guys. And look at, they're on the 10-yard line. Jones and McFadden are lined up.
And both have kickoff returns for touchdowns this season, most recently Darren McFadden at Mississippi State. He booms this one, and he heads all the way. How about that?
Indoors.
Yeah.
Indoors. Think he's not juiced?
As are some of the fans. Eos, only his 8th touchback this season. And Casey Dick gets the starting lineup, starting job at quarterback. The lineups tonight presented by Dr. Pepper. Casey Dick, with what he told us, was the worst game of his career.
Yeah, it had to be a nightmare. Darren McFadden out through him.
Up front, Hugo, Parker, Luigs, Felton, and Tubbs. It is an outstanding offensive line. Marcus Monk, McFadden, Barrett Jackson opens at fullback. They hand it off on the right, sweep to the right. It was McFadden lined up wide left, gets perhaps a yard. Defensively, this is a superb defense against the run. Up front, McDonald, Cohen, Stephen Harris, Jarvis Moss. The linebackers, Crum, Seiler, and Earl Everett, who might be hobbled by an injury. The secondary, the All-American #1, Reggie Nelson. He has had a sensational season.
And here they come already with that package. Oh, another wrinkle. McFadden starts at quarterback and shifts out to wide receiver.
Way wide left. Casey Dick inside, #1. Damon Williams, the true freshman from Springdale, Arkansas. It will be 3rd down. There's a flag down on the far side of the field.
So they lined up in what Arkansas calls their Wildcat formation with McFadden there, and he shifts way out to the outside. Casey Dick goes back. And there you see McFadden out of wide receiver.
On the defense. Defense got in the neutral zone before the snap. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Steve Shaw, referee, indicating offside against Florida.
Ooh, those penalties for Florida.
Well, they average 8.5 penalties per game. Far and away the most penalized team in the Southeastern Conference. Here's McFadden in the wild card. Up the middle. Wild cat, not the wild card.
Yes. Well, he's a wild card, though. I will say that. You know, that's interesting. You can already see that game plan starting to come out. Houston Nutt told us we have to be able to run the ball between the tackles as you look at those yards in that Wildcat formation, because he feels this Florida team, LSU's a good defense, but he felt this Florida team was faster than LSU, and he needs to run it at them.
3rd and 3. Felix Jones, number 25, is in. Little confusion on the formation. Now Dick comes in motion, leaving Felix Jones in the quarterback at the Wildcat formation.
Nothing.
No, nothing at all. So we talked about the Arkansas running ability against this Florida defense. Goes early to Florida.
Well, see, Florida knows that if they don't stop that Wildcat formation, they don't have a chance. They wore pads and hit on Tuesday and Wednesday of this week. And you look, Reggie Nelson right there. He is the guy that's going to be involved all day, but they didn't even get to him this time. Stopped up front.
Brandon James drifts back. He's late going back on 4th down. Jacob Skinner. His net punting average is fine. He doesn't kick for a long distance, but, well, this one will be almost returnable. So Florida takes over. Well, we've grown used to this.
Wow.
I'm not used to this.
It's like body sculpting here, you know? I mean, you could draw this guy, right?
Yeah. Well, it's been effective.
It feels like Florida is real aggressive early in this football game. Even that punt return right there, how aggressive they fielded that punt.
First down 10. Good field position now for the Gators. Chris Leak in the shotgun. Runs the inside option. They get across the 45. It's Percy Harvin. Tracy reported the very scary injury last week, but we are told he is 100%. Offensively, it's Chris Leak. He has a chance to surpass Danny Werfel yards passing in a career tonight. Troutwine, Tart, Rissler, Miller, and Metter up front.
Drew Miller already down after the first play. You see him, number 67 right there.
Baker, Cornelius, and Caldwell, the wideouts. Deshaun Wynn is the running back. He's hobbled as well. And here is Drew Miller. He's been injured a couple of times this year.
Yeah, he has. And that offensive line is not very deep. It has been the same 5 starters all but one game this year. Tart missed one game, but Drew Miller, number 67, is the guy that's going to limp off. You can see him. He's right in the middle right there. He was the pulling guard, and he got fallen on from behind. That's what happens usually. Big Keith Jackson made the tackle, and they fell on from behind Drew Miller.
So Drew Miller, junior from Sarasota, Florida, played his high school ball alongside the starting center, Steve Rissler. And Ronnie Wilson, number 70, is in to take his place. Second down, 7. Keyston Moore is the running back. Number 33. Chris Leak rolling right. Drills it. Incomplete, intended for Cornelius Ingram. It'll be 3rd and 7. Defensively, for Reggie Herring, the coordinator, and the Razorbacks, Anderson, Mitchell, Keith Jackson Jr., Antoine Robinson. Elijah Voodoo is having an all-SEC year. Dacus and Hewitt, the others. Hewitt fighting an injury. Chris Houston is an outstanding corner.
Yes, he is, but Florida will try to throw the ball on corner number 3, 4, and 5. That's how many receivers you'll see all day.
Percy Harvin wide left against John Johnson. Leak, sacked. Randy Kelly, number 6.
How about that? Talk about aggressive. Arkansas gives you man-to-man in your face. Here we come, Florida. 6 men rushing against that empty. Got the fullback right here, but here they come. Run right through it inside, right over the substituted offensive guard where Drew Miller left. And boy, was that an impressive rush.
On 4th down, here's Eric Wilbur. He gets it away. Reggie Fish, number 7, is the deep back. Peyton Hillis, who is the normal punt returner, back in Fayetteville watching the game. The outstanding fullback with a thigh bruise, missing his 3rd consecutive game. Darren McFadden, the sophomore. He's from area code 501. He's on the field in a different area code when we come back. Regional coverage, the NFL on CBS tomorrow. Most of you will see the Jets Green Bay in the early game. 2 games late, Jacksonville at Miami, Houston at Oakland. It all begins with JB in the game. The NFL today, tomorrow at noon Eastern time. We are the home of Super Bowl 41. I'm going to sound like a young Andy Rooney.
Yeah.
Did you ever notice? Did you ever notice? Nobody ever calls the Green Bay quarterback by just his last name. It's never Favre. It's Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
There you go. You know, Earl Everett looks healthy.
Robert Johnson's at quarterback. Robert Johnson is at quarterback. The reverse to McFadden. He's got some blocking help.
Look who
and what a
comes up.
tackle.
Look who-
Reggie Nelson.
What a football player. I'll tell you, he just is a special football player. And he is going to be asked to track number 5 all day. He is the difference maker. I mean, he is the guy that makes plays from that safety position. He's right here this time, okay? McFadden comes around. Now watch him attack the play. He doesn't sit back. He runs past the blocker right in there and makes a dive, lays it out.
Well, this is rather mundane on 2nd and 7. They're in the eye. And they hand it off a straight little. How about that? Robert Johnson, who started against Southern Cal at quarterback, demoted, switched to wide receiver, is in at quarterback.
And caught a big pass against LSU in the game that Darren McFadden threw. But, you know, you're trying to keep this Florida defense off balance with a lot of different formations, sweeps. They know that this Florida defense is fast, so they're starting out the game by showing them a lot of different looks and trying to spread the defense out now. They couldn't run at them the first time.
3rd and 3, they hurry it up, a quick snap. Toss to McFadden, doesn't get it. 3 and out for the 2nd consecutive time. Jarvis Moss, number 94.
Yeah, nobody blocked Jarvis Moss. This had to be a busted assignment. You can't run the ball left and not block the defensive end. Look at that. Nobody even tried to block him. He comes out and makes the play. And Tony Joyner got rolled up that time. Strong safety. Rolled up from behind. 2 plays and 2 Gators rolled up from behind. Drew Miller on offense, and now Tony Joyner, the starting strong safety on defense. That was that quick snap that Arkansas likes to use in short yardage, and Florida was prepared.
And they're paying attention now. They're going to help him over on his back.
Yeah, I think he got rolled up from behind on that right ankle.
There's another view of it.
Yeah, see that? I mean, he got hit right there on the ankle, and that's Jarvis Moss had his big old rolling 260 pounds on that right ankle.
It's not often you see a kick to the head become the secondary injury.
Boy, see that speed? Now, either LSU was a little bit off balance with that attack last week. They looked flat-footed to me. Florida doesn't look flat-footed.
No. No. Well, Reggie, I'm sorry, Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator, said the difference in the 2 defenses they'll face is speed.
Speed at defensive end. I think a little faster. I think the safety's a great alley. Called an alley player because you ask your free safety to come up both alleys, both sides.
Well, that's tough news. Tony Joyner, who was defensive player of the game in the first 2 games of the year. Junior from Haines City, Florida.
Yeah, and the 3rd leading tackler on this football team, by the way.
Yes. So as he is assisted to the bench, 4th and 3, and Jacob Skinner. Here we go again. Brandon James returned 177 yards in the win over Western Carolina. He's had 2 for touchdowns called back because of injuries. He is dangerous. This is not a good punt. James lets it bounce. Picked up on one hop to the 33-yard line.
And that's a heads-up play because James wasn't sure whether his own player touched the ball or the Arkansas player, so he played it safe and scooped it up.
Reggie Nelson on Darren McFadden. We'll return in a moment. Gators played in the very first SEC championship game in '92. They lost that to Alabama. Arkansas and Florida got together in '95, as you saw. Drew Miller is back on the field, Gary.
That's good news for Florida. They haven't had any injuries there all year.
Latsko goes in motion. They hand it off. Keaston Moore one-on-one with Randy Kelly. Caught from behind. Huge gaping hole on the right side.
That was what you call the isolation off tackle behind the fullback. This was a play that was run maybe in the 70s in the SEC. Florida dials it up against Arkansas. You can bet that Reggie Herring, the defensive coordinator, and the Arkansas team was not ready for that play.
28-yard gain, longest of the year for Keaston Moore. Percy Harvin is in the backfield, number 8. Behind Chris Leak, 4 men wide. 3 near side, 1 top of the screen. Option, Harvin gets the pitch. Leak pays the price. Harvin with great speed, forced out of bounds at the 24-yard line. Picked up 9.
See, that made it a little bit too easy. Believe me, I ran the option in college. I did not want to keep the ball. Thank you, I want to pitch it. Antoine Robinson comes, thank you, I don't want it anyway. I'll pitch it every time. Robinson needs to play it slower and make Chris Leak make a decision slower.
You know, people do forget that you were a wishbone quarterback.
Yeah.
How many wishbone quarterbacks had multi-year careers in the NFL?
I don't know.
You're one. That's a first down and 10. Leak has it. From the backside, watch out. He goes for Ingram and overthrows him. Fortunately, because Randy Kelly and Matero Richardson were both back there.
Well, the Florida coaches have challenged the Florida receivers. They said, listen, there's nothing shaky here, no surprises, no smoke. Arkansas has challenged you. They're going to get in your face. They're going to play man-to-man. And by the way, receivers, we didn't recruit you to Florida to not be able to beat man-to-man. You could go to, with all due respect, you could go to Central Florida if you can't beat man-to-man. Florida, we expect you to beat man-to-man.
You see Tony Joyner being helped into the locker room. 2nd down and 10. Leak again under center. They run the option. He is caught and dropped. And for more on Tony Joyner, let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Thanks, guys. A tough loss for this Florida defense so early. Tony Joyner, as you saw, was taken into the locker room for x-rays on his right ankle. It does not look like he will return. He could not put any weight on that leg. As for Andre Caldwell,